Austin Pouts, spring 2018, Electrical Engineering 360, that's VSL class. Now, I'm demoing Lab 5. Lab 5 is a B.C.D incrementer for 2 digits. So each B.C.D digit has 4 bits. Those are represented by these LEDs. What this does is it takes in a B.C.D for the ones place, and then a B.C.D for the tens place, and an enable signal, and then it adds 1 and displays that in B.C.D. So it also has exceptions for invalid inputs, as you'll see. Now, right now I have it set to the number 8 because there's the ones place, and it goes 1 0 0 0 0. So in binary that's 8, and none of these are depressed. So let's see what happens when I press this button. Well, it goes to 9 1 0 0 1. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm gonna add 1, so 1 0 0 1 real quick so you can see which places are high and low. Again, let's see what happens. Okay, so it's got a 0 0 0 1 in the tens place, and a 0 0 0 0 in the ones place. That's a 10 in B.C.D, which is what it's supposed to be. 9 plus 1 is 10. Now, I'm actually going to make the B.C.D also be 10 by pressing this this button. And let's see, that implies that before it was 19, and now it is 20, because, well, actually that appears to be 30, which actually makes sense, because come to think of it, the east button is the 2's place in the B.C.D. Yeah, bit 1. Okay, that's how I program it. So it's not a program error, that's just a mental error on my part. So I program it correctly. So that's a couple demonstrations of its ability to add a number. So there's an exception when you give an invalid input. For example, I'm gonna say all the bits high, because when it has an invalid input in either B.C.D digit, nothing will happen. See, no lights turn on. Okay, but then I change it back to a 9, and a light turns on to be 0. And then there's actually one exception. That's the number 99. If the input is 99, no, if the input is 98, this is 98, because 1 0 0 0 in enable, and I'm gonna change this to an 8. So I'm going to show you what happens when I give it a 98. 1 0 0 1, and then 8 over here. Yeah, so look, it's displaying 2 9s in B.C.D, but look what happens when I, well, I'm going to take my finger off this. Okay, I'm going to change this to a 9, so the input is now going to be 99. So I got my fingers in position for the other 9 and the enable, and see, nothing happens because nothing's supposed to happen. But then, say I just give it an 89, you know, something happens. That gives it to 90. So, and then just to prove that the exception works with invalid inputs for the other one, let's see. I'm gonna alright. Well, that must have been a edge trigger thing or a response. But I think I've proven my point. it'll increment unless you give it an invalid input, and it will display it in B.C.D. So that's about it for this demo, and I will see you in the next demo.